AITA for leaving my 17-year-old niece in jail in another state? Her own mother abandoned her with us first, and when things went sideways, she expected me to clean up the mess. But I was done. We were all done. The whole thing started at the end of a family wedding. A big group of us were all booked on the same flight home, ready to put the weekend behind us. Then, the dreaded notification. Flight cancelled. We all groan, we all scramble. The airline gets us new tickets, but there's a catch. It's not a direct flight anymore. Now we have a layover. It's annoying, but what can you do? Well, what my sister did was something else entirely. While the rest of us were dealing with the logistics, she was quietly, sneakily, booking herself a seat on the last direct flight out. She didn't say a word. She just left. And she also left behind her 17-year-old daughter. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew none of us would have agreed to be her daughter's keeper if she'd asked. To be blunt, her daughter is a pain. Moody, difficult, and wrapped in a cloud of teenage angst that makes every interaction feel like a chore. But there we were, stuck with her. We had no other option but to take her with us on our new flight. The whole trip to the airport, the whole security line, the whole wait at the gate, she was a nightmare. Silent glares, one-word answers, headphones on, world off. It was exhausting, and we hadn't even taken off yet. We finally get to our layover airport. Everyone is tired. The younger kids in our group are getting cranky. We're all just counting the minutes until we can board our final flight and be done with this day. My niece gets up, mumbling something about going to the restroom. Fine, we don't think anything of it. And here's the part that changes everything. She comes back about 20 minutes later, but she's not alone. She's flanked by 2 airport police officers. They walk right up to our group, and the world just seems to stop. They have her, and they're here to tell us she's been arrested. For shoplifting. My jaw just dropped. Shoplifting. In an airport, of all places. The officers were calm, professional. They explained that because she was 17, she would be charged as an adult in that state. She wasn't going to a juvenile facility. She was being transferred to the county jail. My mind was reeling. County jail? For a kid? They told us she could be out by the next day, or it could take longer. It all depended on how busy they were, how backed up the system was. There were no guarantees. And in that moment, I looked around at my family. I saw the exhausted parents trying to soothe their crying toddlers. I saw the stress etched on everyone's faces. We had jobs to get back to, lives to resume. The thought of canceling another flight, finding a hotel, and waiting indefinitely in a strange city for a girl who had been nothing but trouble, it was unbearable. And honestly, we were just fed up. Fed up with her attitude, fed up with her choices, and most of all, fed up with her mother for putting us in this position. We pulled one of the officers aside and asked them straight up, what happens if we get on our flight? They told us it would be okay. They had her information, they would contact her mother. Legally, we weren't her guardians. We could go. So we did. We sent a text to my sister, laying it all out. Your daughter has been arrested for shoplifting. She's being taken to county jail. Here is the information for the police department. We are getting on our flight. Her response was immediate. Panic. Fury. You can't just leave her there. You can't abandon her. She demanded that someone stay behind. One of us had to stay. We checked the flights. There were multiple options for her to fly there and be there by the next morning to handle her own daughter. We told her this. Her excuse? I can't. I have work. Work. The same reason she gave for ditching her daughter with us in the first place. The hypocrisy was stunning. We told her, so do we. And then we turned off our phones and boarded the plane. When we landed and turned our phones back on, the explosion had already happened. My sister was on a rampage. She had called everyone, texted everyone, leaving furious voicemails. But her anger, her real venom, was directed at me. The others had an excuse, in her mind. They had young kids. But me? I didn't. In her eyes, I had no reason not to stay. She told me my work was more flexible than hers, that I could have just lied about more flight issues or taken a few days off. She acted as if it was my duty to drop my entire life to fix a problem that she created and her daughter escalated. She wasn't just mad we left. She was mad that I, specifically, had not sacrificed myself for her convenience. She abandoned her daughter. Her daughter committed a crime. And somehow, in her twisted logic, I'm the one who is supposed to pay the price. This wasn't our mess to clean up. The sister created this situation the second she snuck onto that direct flight and left her child in the care of relatives who never agreed to it. She abdicated her responsibility as a parent. The niece then made her own terrible choice by committing a crime. While leaving a 17-year-old in jail feels harsh, she wasn't a lost child. She was a young adult facing the direct consequences of her actions. The family was exhausted, burdened, and had their own lives and children to manage. The mother, who was only a flight away, was the one who should have been there. It's infuriating that she then tried to guilt-trip the one person she felt had the least excuse. But we want to know what you think. Was leaving her there a cold, heartless move? Or was it the only logical choice in a situation created by an irresponsible parent? What would you have done?